Hey guys, it's your boy Rod from DBZSHFIGS.com, and today I'm bringing to you all the missing SH Figuarts from Dragon Ball GT. So this is basically a sequel to the video that I released last week where I went through every single Dragon Ball Z character that I want in SH Figuarts form. So this time we're doing it with figures from Dragon Ball GT. So as a reminder, these are the figures that I personally want to see. Maybe there are some that you want to see. Leave those in the comments below, but let's get started. And just a reminder, no specific order, no specific grouping. I just put all the characters out here. Don't forget to check out my website, DBZSHFIGS.com, for a complete archive of every single Dragon Ball SH figure arts released ever. So first we have Baby and Baby Vegeta. So to me, I feel like Dragon Ball GT started out really slow, but then once we got to like the Baby Saga, it started picking up a bit. You know, that it started becoming more interesting and stuff. And honestly, me personally, I really enjoyed the villain of Baby. I thought it was a really interesting idea to have him like enter other people's bodies and take control. But yeah, in terms of figures, I'd love to see like a regular Baby in his adult, I guess you could say, form here. But I do want them to include a little Baby on the side, like just as an added accessory. I don't want it to be its own figure, but it'd be cool to have like the inception of Baby, just to have them for dioramas and stuff. And then when it comes to Baby, I think his coolest form was when he infected Vegeta. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having all three of these forms of the Baby Vegeta character, because I feel like they all look really cool and I would like to have them all for my collection. You know, Vegeta, a really strong character that got taken over by Baby. I guess it's just a recurring thing in his life, like, you know, when Babidi took over. But yeah, I'd love to see all of these. And then we have Golden Usaru Baby and the Black Smoke Shenron. So Golden Usaru, I feel like, could be a release like how the Grade 8 Vegeta was released, where, you know, of course they can't make them as big as they should be because there's a lot of plastic constraints with that. But just having something like that and including like a little Goku would be cool. The way that they included like the Grade 8 Vegeta holding a Goku in his hands, or like a little Yajirobe that came with that one as well. I feel like that'd be a cool set piece for your display. And then the Black Smoke Shenron. So I'm gonna be honest, I do like the design, but the main reason I included him is because I don't really want them to release every single Shadow Dragon that came out on the show, because a lot of those Shadow Dragons were, to be frank, a waste of time, in my opinion. So I feel like if they release a Black Smoke Shenron, that's an easy way to include all the shattered Dragon Balls with him. You know, because in my opinion, that was like the best thing Dragon Ball GT did. I feel like that was such a smart concept that they came up with, that there are repercussions to wasting all of these wishes that they came up with. You know, the wishes used to be like something that were granted like once a century or whatever it was, but then due to the Dragon Radar, they started becoming more common and they were making really dumb wishes with them. So I really enjoyed that part of GT. I think it was the best part. So I would like to see that. And then this next one is, we need more female representation in the line, in my opinion. I'd love to see GT versions of Bulma, Chi-Chi, Videl, and Bulla. You know, Bulma and Chi-Chi, I feel like really important characters that don't really get their due in the S.H.Figuarts line, especially Chi-Chi. We've only gotten the kid version of her. Bulma, we have gotten a few different versions, including like the Namek version and then like the first appearance Bulma, etc. But I feel like you can never have too many Bulmas. And then Videl, on the other hand, still has not received a figure. I don't get it. So I love to see a GT version. And then Bulla is, I mean, GT is the only way we're going to get a Bulla figure. So I think it'd be cool to complete the Vegeta family that way. So I'd love to include that. Next up, we have some of the smaller scale villains, I guess you could say. So we have Doltaki, which growing up, I remember watching Doltaki and getting freaked out by him. I don't know what it is about his face, but it just freaked me out as a kid. And also the way that he like converted Pan into a doll and stuff. I always thought it was like really freaky. So I'd love to see it for that version, but I understand if you don't even know who this character is, I understand, but I just love to see it. Not a big fan of the big robot he was controlling. I believe his name was Lud or something. I wouldn't care to see that, but I think Doltaki would be a cool character. And then speaking of Doltaki, I have General Rildo on there, who ends up being the one that kills Doltaki. But yeah, I feel like to include some smaller scale villains, General Rildo's really good. I know he has a couple forms. I would just like to see the base one and maybe the last one where he's like all silver, I believe, or all white, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's one of the generals of Dr. Mew, who's also here. Dr. Mew, of course, is basically just a copy and paste of Dr. Gero. You know, GT was trying to borrow ideas from like Dragon Ball Z, I guess, and they came up with Dr. Mew. And he created, I believe, an Android 17, and they fused, and that's how they created Super Android 17, which we already have a figure of, so that's why I did not include them here. But I feel like these three could easily become figures. So next up, we move to the Shadow Dragons. So I only really care about 4. Ice Shenron, which is this blue one over here. Nova Shenron, the golden one. Omega Shenron is the final boss. And then Sin Shenron is the one without the Dragon Ball. So I feel like all of these, they look cool, first of all. I really like the Ice Shenron and Nova Shenron design. I know they're basically the same figure, just different color, but I think they look cool enough to receive their own figures. And then Sin Shenron already looks cool. I mean, he really, I didn't have any complaints with him. I know a lot of people like don't like anything GT, but I felt like he was a really strong character, especially when he absorbed the 7 Dragon Balls and became Omega Shenron. Like, if we're considering GT canon, that guy's literally like the strongest character in all of Dragon Ball because he's the final boss at the end of the timeline. You know, I don't know how Super like translates into this. Like, is Omega Shenron stronger than like Ultra Instinct Goku? I don't know. That's up to debate. But for me, I feel like all 4 of these could definitely and should definitely get a figure in the future. Next up, we move over to some of the Gokus. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I felt like it's a definite must. I really thought they were going to release them when they were releasing the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, but I guess they didn't go through with it. But anyways, now is the time to do it. Really cool character design, honestly. Personally, big fan of the Super Saiyan 4. I wish it was canon, and maybe they'll bring it up in the future at some point and make it canon, but I really like it. I want to see it. And then I have Kid Goku Super Saiyan 3, so that one will be really cool, especially since now we're getting the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Daima, so we could pair those up, those little 2 figures. You know, the one thing I didn't mention is that I wish they would have had a Super Saiyan hair with the Kid Goku from GT that we've gotten already, because I just know Tamashii Nations and they're gonna make a whole different figure for Super Saiyan Kid GT Goku. But yeah, anyways, I want the Goku at the end of GT. If you're like me, you really, I don't know, that last scene of Dragon Ball GT was very emotional. Seeing Goku fly off, seeing him say goodbye till we meet again, very iconic. And then we got like the whole compilation of all the best moments in Dragon Ball. Very, very important moment in my life as a Dragon Ball fan. So I just want to see that represented in a figure form. And next up, we have some of these cool guys over here, you know, Gohan. Because if you know me, you know I love Gohan. So I need a Gohan GT figure. You know, I would like to see a Goten GT figure. I'm wondering if that's going to be the first ever Goten figure we get, because we still don't have a Kid Goten. But I'd love to see him. And then, of course, we got to get Vegeta out here. And the reason I put 2 pictures for him is because we need a Vegeta faceplate with a mustache. That's my biggest dream, Tamashii Nations. Make it happen. We want to see it. I'm sure a lot of people want to see it. Just do it. Include Super Saiyan forms for all of these guys in the packaging. Please don't sell them as separate figures. I'd buy them all, okay? And then over here, I believe this is the last page, but I do want to see Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. from the end of GT when they fast forward into the future. I was thinking of including like a Grandma Pan, but I don't know. Maybe that makes one of your lists, but doesn't make mine. I'd love to see Super Saiyan versions of both Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. just to recreate that final battle that they have. And then Majub, I think, incredible design, waste of a character. I could not believe, as I was watching GT, how they managed to fumble the last trainee, you could say, of Goku. Literally, Dragon Ball Z ended with this guy. And they couldn't make him a big deal in the series. I don't get it, but still, good design, in my opinion, so I want to figure. And then these last two, for me, are to recreate my second favorite scene in all of GT, besides the ending, with Goku saying goodbye. It's when, funny enough, it's Goku saying goodbye again, but he goes to the Kame house and he's basically saying goodbye to them without saying goodbye to them. And he fights Krillin one last time, and then Master Roshi, he's like, oh, these guys never grow up, Krillin hits Goku in the face, and then Goku disappears, and that's the last time they ever saw each other, as far as we know. So I'd love to have those two characters for that opinion, but that's basically it for GT. I know GT was a really short series, so there's not a lot of characters to go off by, but are there any that I missed that you want to see in S.H.Figuarts? Leave it below in the comments. Last time for Dragon Ball Z, a lot of people mentioned Super Vegeta and Super Trunks, and I was like, oh my god, how did I forget that? But I know somebody's going to mention someone that I really like that I forgot, so make sure you do that. But anyways, I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. I would appreciate a comment, a subscription, a like, anything helps. Anyways, have a nice, great rest of your day.